I'm influenced a great deal by Simon Critchley's writing, especially Memory Theatre, published in 2014 by Fitzcarraldo, and Very Little, Almost Nothing, Death, Philosophy, Literature, the second expanded edition, published in 2004 by Routledge. My work often involves performances of apparently endless repetitions of absurd, futile activities, such as measuring pebbles, measuring the sea with buckets, or emptying the sea, which a friend once described as nihilistic. So today I'm thinking especially of Critchley's second book, Very Little, Almost Nothing, and his approach to nihilism. Nihilism has many different meanings and connotations, but my perspective is probably closest to existential nihilism. Broadly, the viewpoint that life has no intrinsic meaning or value, as so famously expressed by Shakespeare's Macbeth towards the end of the play, and I quote, "Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." Critchley proposes that philosophy begins with disappointment, contrary to the tradition derived from Plato and Aristotle, that philosophy begins with wonder. On the question of religion, lack of faith results in religious disappointment. But the problem with the so-called death of God is that it results in the collapse of any transcendent basis for morality. Thus, human life is finite, lacking any transcendent meaning. Nietzsche denounced this absolute descent into nihilism as a will to nothingness. And as Critchley puts it, nihilism is the affirmation of meaninglessness. Nothing means anything. In short, nihilism is the only option. Or so it seems. But in Very Little, Almost Nothing, Critchley explores whether nihilism might somehow be overcome, analysing the themes of finitude and death in the works of Nietzsche, Blanchot, Cavell, early German Romanticism, Samuel Beckett and others. He stresses that the ultimate meaning of human finitude is that we cannot find meaningful fulfillment for the finite. He rejects the view that an affirmation of finitude can somehow redeem the meaning of life, and indeed any attempts to either find redemption from or to overcome nihilism miss the point. To quote, "The world is all too easily stuffed with meaning, and we risk suffocating under the combined weight of competitive narratives of redemption, whether religious, socio-economic, scientific, technological, political, aesthetical, or philosophical. And hence we miss the problem of nihilism and our manic desire to overcome it." Nevertheless, Critchley argues that a descent into nihilism is not automatically inevitable. Instead, he says we must affirm meaninglessness as an achievement, as a task or quest, as the achievement of the ordinary in the everyday, without the rose-tinted spectacles of any narrative of redemption. Thus, we don't evade the problem of nihilism, but truly confront it. Critchley discerns in the work of various writers, such as the playwright Samuel Beckett, this expression of meaningless as a task or achievement. For example, he says, Beckett gives us a radical decreation of these salvic narratives, an approach to meaninglessness as the achievement of the ordinary, a redemption from redemption. Salvation narratives are empty talk, which cause trouble. Better to be silent, as Pascal suggested. All man's miseries derive from not being able to sit quietly in a room alone. What then is left after we are saved from the fables of salvation? Very little. Almost nothing, Critchley says. But all is not completely lost. We can know the happiness derived from ordinary things.